Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 3 of Australia Pro Wrestling. Now, if you do want to play TEW 2020, you can purchase it down in the first link in the description below. It is an affiliate link, so it will help the channel out, and of course, you will be getting a great game in return. Anyway, apart from that, let's get into the episode. Now, the first thing I wanted to do is to find Marcus Rush and to basically get rid of him. Because he's really not very good as a road agent. He's only got 62 psychology, which I think is pretty bad. What's his respect? It's 71. His experience is only 39 as well, so let's get rid of him. Yeah, there we go. We'll do one more appearance. I mean, I could just fire him outright, but then he might have sort of some morale issues. Or possibly someone else in the roster might have morale issues, so I think we just want to try and get rid of him. One other thing I want to look at is Debonair David Peterson. So he's got 71. He's a bit better as a road agent. As you can see, he actually is a road agent. And then we also want to look at the other one, if I can find him. I mean, Harry would actually make a really good road agent as well once he retires. But who am I looking for? Lanny, there he is. So Lanny's the best road agent we have currently. And of course, Lanny and Debonair were actually in a tag team together once upon a time. What's his... Yeah, I mean, he's pretty good on the mic. How good is Lanny? Lanny's not as good on the mic. I kind of want Lanny to just be our road agent. And I kind of want Debonair to be to be a manager for someone as well. Because he can talk. So maybe let's ask him. He also works as a color commentator. What's his color commentary skill? It's only 52. I mean, let's ask him. Let's ask him if he'll... Alright, nice. Alright, so he's decided to become a manager as well. That's perfect. Alright, we can eventually give him a client. And I think I know who I want to give him. Kind of makes sense. Our new signing of last episode. I think that'd be pretty interesting. Anyway, we do have our pay-per-view, as you can tell by the title of this episode, OZFEST. I'm looking forward to it. We've already got our 3 title matches booked in, or pre-booked in. We're going to have a few other matches as well. Of course, we do need to have... I think we're going to do Christopher taking on Reggie, which is again sort of Christopher Gerard taking on Goliath Global. And yeah, we can do a few other matches. I do want to give Damien Dastardly a match on the pay-per-view. So we'll do that as well. As you can see, of course, last episode, we had the injury to Warmonger. So now we both have Warmonger and Brian Rampage, who botched the move. And yeah, they both have morale issues now, so that's pretty frustrating. We also need to give a gimmick to Debonair. I'm really not sure how to actually give gimmicks. That's something I haven't really looked into. Because I didn't really need to look into it for BCG. Hold on. What am I doing wrong? Where would I do that? Yeah, I really have no idea. I mean, either way, it doesn't really matter too much. Alright, so I quickly worked it out, and it's pretty simple. Yeah, you just click doesn't have a gimmick, and then we can set up the gimmick as well. And basically, I mean, we can just choose a gimmick, a regular gimmick here, or we can essentially create our own gimmick. Now, if we search here, I guess we can just go swagger gimmick for a heal. And that's going to give us essentially the old list, the old way of doing it on 2016. Now, I think for Debonair, we probably want an executive consultant, as you can see, for another worker. I think we'll use that gimmick. It's kind of perfect for him. And here, we can actually fine-tune the gimmick to either more creative, more unique, more safe, or more generic. And you can actually pinpoint where you kind of want it to be. You know, you could make it super generic, super safe by itself, or you can make it pretty creative. Now, I think in regards to Debonair, we're going to probably put it smack bang in the middle between creative and unique, taking a little bit of a risk with the gimmick itself, but it has a higher chance at potentially doing better than it would normally. So let's confirm that. And of course, he's going to become an executive consultant, and we'll eventually create a proper name for a stable that he's going to run. And I think I know what I'll actually let's create it now. So let's go to stables down here, and we're going to add a new stable, and it's going to be called the Agency. And I kind of like that name, and it's going to be Debonair. And he's going to be the leader, I think. Yeah, it kind of makes sense for him to be the leader. And it's going to be a faction. And I think it's a pretty good start anyway. So the Agency, and then of course we have Goliath Global there as well, with a pretty cool looking logo for their stable as well. So we might have to try and create a logo perhaps for the Agency. Anyway, let's get into the pay-per-view. Took me about 10 minutes to work out how to do that gimmicks. I literally was sitting there going through and then actually realized how simple it was. Anyway, let's do a rib on Leon. The rib has gone down well with the rest of the locker room, so I'm happy about that. We do need to set our broadcaster here as well. Of course, it's just going to be the APW network. So there we go. All right, generic venue. We're expecting almost 1,400 fans. That's what I'm talking about. The pay-per-view attendance is hopefully going to be what keeps us in the game, essentially. Keeps us in the black, you know, hopefully making profit, but at least hopefully just breaking even. Anyway, what we need to do now is get our pre-booked matches in. So let's chuck these in here. Let's start off with the... Oh, that's not how you do it. What am I doing? How do I add my pre-booked matches? That is how I do it, isn't it? Yeah, add to booking. I completely just lost exactly where I was going with everything I was just doing. But there we go, APW Commonwealth. We need to select a referee for some reason. I'm wondering who is our best referee, because obviously we want our best referee refereeing our best match. So Lou Rose has 66 and Virgil Mann has 68. So we actually want Virgil. Alright, so let's get the next one, or the next two pre-booked in as well. So we have Massacre and Suburban Legend. Yeah, Virgil, Lanny, to be the road agent, and then the final one, Samoan Demolition, taking on the duo. And we need the road agent to be Lanny as well. We will get rid of Marcus. Well, he might actually just road agent one of these matches on the show, but if not, we can get rid of him on the next TV show during this episode, so that's fine. Alright, so those two are on there as well. Now, I said I wanted to give Damien Dastardly I want to give him a victory on this show. So let's get him in there. Let's also exclude Booked already as well. And I think we want him to maybe take on Paul Reinhold. Of course, one half of R&R. It's going to be a 10-minute match. Lou Rose, and we'll give Lanny this match as well. And of course, we are going to have Damien pick up a victory here as well. Kind of his on-screen debut. Of course, he did have that pre-show match before a TV event, before our TV show. I think we'll get that one. Yeah, that one can stay there. That's fine. Then up next, we want to also book in Christopher Gerard and Reggie Tate. If I can manage to get it in there. There we go. Let's give this one 16 as well. Although we could reduce it back down to 10. I'm not really too worried about it. And yeah, we have to script it as well. I forgot about that. That one's fine. Kind of want that one to maybe be before the main event. We do need a storytelling match as well, so I guess we'll just go with Damien Dastardly. And of course, I guess the story would be his first ever, TV show. Because it is essentially a TV show, even though it is a pay-per-view. But it is on our TV network. Right, it's technically not a TV network. It's more of a broadcaster. Probably through the internet, you would assume. Anyway, we can also do another match. So let's do maybe a tag. Actually, let's go a 6-man. I do love a good 6-man tag. And let's go with a face team of Alex. Let's go a tag team in there. Let's go Fox and Possum. So Alex McQuarrie with Fox and Possum. And they can take on... Actually, we were trying to push the Dexter Mattel storyline as well. So maybe we do that instead. But I've completely forgotten who Dexter was actually supposed to be versing. Oh, Barney Mason. That's right. Alright, so we'll do that instead. We'll have Fox and Possum with Barney Mason taking on Dexter Mattel and Wilson Lydecker, I guess. Or I guess we could just maybe not use a tag team. And let's go with Tyrant. Who else have we used? I guess we can go Leon. We haven't used him since the first episode of the series. And there we go. I think we'll give... Let's give Barney Mason the victory onto Leon. I think we'll make this the storytelling match, actually. It kind of makes a bit more sense. And we can have that one go there. And then we'll just make this one a regular match. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Alright, let's do some angles. Now we need... Well, of course we need a Victor Goliath Scotty Hampstead angle. And that one's going to happen after the victory. Okay, so we also want to make, I guess, all the angles Debonair can be the road agent for. Maybe even this match here. Actually, we'll leave that for Marcus, I think. We then want a Christopher Gerard angle. So that can go prior to his match. I guess we want Massacre and Victor again. And that'll go before their match. And again, I'll have to change the road agent for that one. Could maybe have gone a Suburban Legend angle. As you can see, he's got really good microphone and charisma. But I think he might get a penalty for us using him too much. So I don't really want that. We then want a Samoan Demolition angle as well. Prior to their title match. King Malietoa, both on Menace, of course. They are our big menacing tag team champions. That'll go there. I guess we could do a Damien Dastardly angle. Maybe if I reduce that to 8 minutes, we can try and do it. But I think it'll probably be too much time for him as well. Oh no, it looks like it's going to work. Perfect. And he's going to start us off with his angle to open the show. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's do one pre-show where we're going to have Lone Shark take on White Wasp. Just a nice little pre-show match, and Lone Shark's going to get the victory as well. Alrighty, there we go. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's give it a quick save, and let's start the show. Alright, so here is OZFEST. Only 1,100 people, so about 300 less than was expected. That's a little bit frustrating. But we do start off with a 36 for our pre-show match, where we have Lone Shark defeating White Wasp in 10:02 by pinfall with a Blood in the Water. Yeah, it's not a bad match. Again, sort of what you'd expect for the pre-show. Anyway, we then start the pay-per-view off with a 30 for Damien Dastardly's angle. Basically just him introducing himself. And of course, just being a bit of an asshole, because that is what he does. He's a dastardly heel. And yeah, he also benefited from having a hot catchphrase as well. So that's definitely going to help him out with these angles. 30's not too bad though. 30's not too bad. The match is a little bit less impressive, getting a 27. But we have Damien Dastardly defeating Paul Reinhold in 8:30 by pinfall with a Dastardly Cunning. Dastardly Cunning. 27, kind of expect a little bit better. But then again, he does have kind of non-existent popularity in New South Wales. We then go into a 41 for Samoan Demolition's Menace angle prior to their title match. 41's pretty good, but again, Marcus Rush is just a dreadful road agent. The match itself gets a 45, where we have Samoan Demolition defeating the duo in 16:10 when King Malietoa pinned Rusty Mills with a Devil's Drop, and Samoan Demolition making defense number 1 of their APW tag team titles. Yeah, pretty good match. Brisbane Devil with a 44, and then we have both members of the duo with a 46. Apparently it was a little too long given our audience. It's only 16 minutes long. Interesting. Okay, 45's good though. I'm happy with that. We then go into a 52 for Victor Goliath and Massacre's angle. Basically, Victor just hyping up Massacre to pretty much go out and do what he does best. And of course, you might know what that is, seeing as his name is Massacre. That match getting a 43, where we have Massacre defeating Suburban Legend in 2023 by pinfall with a Black Descent. We have Massacre also making a defense, this time number 2 of his APW Australian title. And once again, the match was a little bit too long. Yeah, that's interesting. We then go into a 36, where we have Barney Mason and Fox and Possum defeating Dexter Mattel, Tyrant, and Leon Namath in 9:46, when Barney Mason submitted Tyrant with a full Nelson. And once again, Marcus Rush just really not doing too well as a road agent. Glad he's going to be leaving us soon. We then go into a 63 once again. I mean, I should just fire him. I should just not use him. But yeah, 63, even though Marcus Rush was a crap road agent. Christopher Gerard cutting a pretty amazing promo for himself. His match getting a 51, where we have Christopher Gerard defeating Reggie Tate in 15:37 by pinfall with a T-bone suplex. Yeah, match of the night so far. 55 in ring there for Christopher. He's definitely our biggest star. That's for sure. And I don't think he's going to be too far off becoming champion. And then finally, we go straight into the main event, getting a 53, just a little bit better, just that little bit better than the previous match. We have Scotty Hamstead defeating Dingo Divine in 1957 by pinfall with a hammer time. And of course, we have Scotty Hamstead making defense number 1 of his APW Commonwealth title. And once again, little too long for our audience. And finally, we finish off the show with a 52 angle, where we have Victor Goliath and Scotty Hamstead basically celebrating after the match. And of course, Victor did good work at ringside. You know, basically, was grabbing the feet of Dingo when the referee wasn't looking. Stuff like that. Just your typical heel manager. Alright, we end the show. We get a 52, which is a lot better than what we got recently. And that actually increases our popularity in all 7 regions. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy about that. Good to see our popularity in New South Wales actually going up for once. Now, as far as praising people, let's just go with Christopher, Scotty. Who else? Who got a 52? Let's just go with Massacre as well. And we'll just praise all 3 of those guys. They all were relatively impressive. Could maybe have praised Dingo instead of Massacre, but it doesn't really matter too much. Oh, and unfortunately, we're going to have to use Marcus once again. So let's complete that for his 1 appearance before he leaves. And we actually got a 0.03 for OZFEST, which is just over 25,000 viewers, which is quite a bit bigger. Oh, okay, and here, this is the reason why the attendance was so low. The lack of big names on the show hurt the attendance for APW's OZFEST. That's why it was 300 less. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, the thing is, we're really not going to have any big names because we only have 1 major star, and that's Christopher. Let me just reset this, and let's double check. Yeah, so it's still just Christopher with a 47. How close is some of our other talent? So Scotty's on a 42. Victor Goliath is on a 43. And then both of our commentators along with Dingo. Yeah, interesting. Okay. It kind of makes sense. Okay. Well, let's just advance. Looks like we did make a bit of money. But we still do have 1 more show left in January. so let's get into booking the next This Is War TV show. And of course, we're going to have Debonair come out with an angle on this show. And he's basically going to say that he's recruiting for a new stable, essentially, called the Agency. And he's looking for some bright talent on the roster. Alright, so it kind of does look like we're making money at the moment, which I'm really happy with. Really happy with. Alright. Let's do another rib, or we'll try and do another rib. And it backfired on Dexter Mattel. That's not great. Again, we're expecting 383 fans, so we'll get a generic venue in again for that. And now the question is, what do we want? And I think I know what I want to do for our main event. What I do want to do is... I'm sort of wondering where... Okay, here they are. We want a 10-man Battle Royale. Never mind, okay. Yeah, so there we go, 10-man Battle Royale. And we are going to have... essentially, I would say 10 of our probably most impressive stars. So Christopher Gerrard's going to be in there. Brisbane Devil's going to be in there. We then want... Lone Shark, Massacre, Reggie, Suburban Legend, Whirlwind Lee Wilkes. We got 7. Let's go with Dingo as well. Alex McQuarrie. And to round us off, I think we want... maybe, yeah, we'll go Hate Monger in there as well. Yeah, that works out pretty well. Alright, so it's a number 1 contenders match for the Commonwealth title. 10-man over-the-top rope Battle Royale. And our winner, as you'd expect, Christopher Gerrard. Kind of has to be Christopher at this point. Can we call it? I don't think we could. Because we have guys like Reggie Tate in there. Yeah, I mean, everyone else apart from Reggie Tate would probably be able to call the match. I'm not really too worried about what else happens in the match, like who the runner-up and all that type of stuff is. But next, what we want to do is have Debonair. And he's going to come out and, like I said, debut. And he's going to debut the Agency. All right, nice. That looks pretty good. I think we might want that one to open the show. Then I want another match on here. And I want to face, let's go with Casey. And he's going to be taking on Damien Dastardly again. Not again, but Damien Dastardly is going to be appearing on TV again. And he's also going to be picking up a win as well. And I think I want Lenny to book that as well. And that's actually going to go on after Debonair's match. So I might actually have Debonair go on color commentary for that match as well. Yeah, that works out pretty well. And what we're going to do, we're going to add a new storyline called The Agency. And of course, it's going to be Debonair, Damien Dastardly, and it'll just be those two for now. And of course, you kind of know that Debonair is essentially scouting Damien for the Agency. All right, next match we want a... Let's go a tag team triple threat. Let's have Fox and Possum taking on Wilkes and Nevermind. Need to exclude booked. Let's go R&R. I mean, it's going to be all three teams of baby faces. And it's going to be a number 1 contenders match as well. And Pookie Possum is going to pick up the victory there. And his team is going to be the new number 1 contenders. Yeah, so Fox and Possum, new number 1 contenders, and I guess they'll be taken on... Alright, we need a storytelling match. We'll make that the storytelling match as well. Pretty simple. And that can go there. We also want to have Brisbane Devil and King Malietoa. And again, they're going to be cutting a menacing angle. As you'd expect, and we actually want Marcus Rush to be the road agent for that one. And that can come after that match. And then to finish off the show, I want to have Christopher Gerard with Scotty Hampstead and Victor. And this is going to be kind of a stare down between Gerard and obviously Scotty Hampstead comes down the entrance ramp with Victor. And then, of course, they have a massive stare down with each other. And Christopher is the number 1 contender. Nice. I think that's a pretty good show. I'm happy with that. But we do need some more match time, apparently. Alright, there we go. Perfect. Let's also chuck on a tag team match for the pre-show. Where we want... yeah, let's go with Tyrant and Felix Harding. Yeah, Felix Harding. And they can take on Chuck and... yeah, I guess Barney Mason. And the heels are going to get the victory, so Felix Harding is going to cheat to win. So it's going to be a tainted victory. On the old pre-show, there we go. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's start the show. We start off with a 36 for that pre-show match. Where we have Tyrant and Felix Harding defeating Chuck and Barney Mason in 10:01 when Felix pinned Chuck while using the ropes for leverage. Not a bad match, but we also have Tyrant and Felix Harding showing excellent chemistry when tag teaming together. So I think we got a new tag team there between Tyrant and Felix. Good use of a pre-show. Alright, we then open the show with a 41, and of course we have Debonair David Peterson, and he debuts the agency, which is of course his new stable, and he says that he is recruiting, and he's actively going to be out there looking for talent on the APW roster for him to sign. And of course our first match gets a 26, unfortunately. Both these guys just didn't click together, showed in their performance, but we do have Damien Dastardly defeating Casey in 10:47 by pinfall with a Dastardly cunning. Yeah, just a little bit unfortunate they don't click because we kind of want Damien to be getting in better matches at the moment. And yeah, he was actually scouted by Debonair, who was on color commentary. We then go into the triple threat tag team match, getting a 39. We have Fox and Possum defeating R&R and the duo in 9:33 The order of elimination was R&R first, and then the duo. Yeah, so new number one contenders for the next pay-per-view, big night out, and that is going to be Fox and Possum. We might make this a little bit shorter for this tag team match. And it's going to be Samoan Demolition taking on Fox and Possum for the APW tag team titles. And once again, as you'd expect, it's going to be a nice title retain there for the champions. Alright, there we go. Big night out. First title match booked in. And we will actually get our second at the, well, for the main event. We then go into a 47 for Samoan Demolition's Menace angle after the finishing of that triple threat number one contenders match. Yeah, not too bad. 47's okay. And then finally we go into the main event, the 10-man Battle Royale, getting a 48 where we have Christopher Gerard winning the Battle Royale in 15:37. The other members of the Final Four were Dingo Divine, Alex McQuarrie, and Massacre, with Dingo Divine being the final elimination. And apparently Massacre, pretty fitting that he got the most eliminations in the match. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. That's a pretty well booked 10-man Battle Royale. Alrighty. And again, it was a little too long, so I guess we can't do 16-minute matches. Very strange. Anyway, and of course our final segment getting a 57. Unfortunately, Marcus Rush being the road agent yet again. Should have checked that. And we have the angle with Christopher Gerard and Scotty Hampstead staring each other down outside the ring as Scotty's come down to go face to face with his new number one contender. And of course, Victor Goliath and Gerard have some unfinished business. And I think the best possible way for Gerard to get some revenge would be to take the Commonwealth title away from Goliath Global. Anyway, let's finish the... Wow. Okay. I suppose we only had 3 angles on the show. Interesting. Yeah, 36. Definitely wasn't a 36 rated show, but as you can see, the crowd wasn't happy as they expected more angles and interviews. Yeah, that's really not good. Does increase our popularity in the other 6 regions, but I'm hoping that doesn't lower our popularity in New South Wales to 50, because we were already 51. And that was 1 lower from the 52 that you start the game off. Let's have a little look. Whoa! Whoa! Hello? 42? For some reason in my head, I thought we had 50 popularity, but I'm thinking we didn't. I'm hoping we didn't. I'm pretty sure it was 43, and then we lost 1 popularity. Yeah. Anyway, I don't like losing popularity anyway, and I don't like being penalized for not having enough angles on a show. Either way, I think we're going to use... I want to use less match time and more angles, but I'm not sure how we're going to actually manage to do that. Anyway, Marcus Rush finally gone from APW, and we get a 0.02 TV rating for This Is War. Just over 20,000 viewers. Yeah, it's not too bad, but it's also a little bit down from the... I think the last TV show we did got 22,000, I think. Anyway, that is going to wrap up this episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you could smash a like, it'd be much appreciated. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell. Apart from that, as always, take it easy and goodbye.